So we're all passing through, as Buddha said, this world is not our permanent home. We're all travelers passing through. And when we start thinking about that bigger picture, then we start thinking, so how can I make this life meaningful? Is it worth being so attached to the things of this life, my careers and jobs and so on? Or should I be really improving my spiritual qualities, helping other people, loving others, getting rid of my delusions, getting rid of my negative thoughts, many of which are anyway just bound around this fixed sense of me in this life. This is the only life there is. This is me. And we've looked at a lot of this stuff, which is why I'm not going to go into in detail right now, but we get to the point where we understand, I could die and I may die today. I may die today. There's no guarantee that I won't die today. Then the next question that comes up is, if I die today, where will I be tomorrow? And like I said, that's a question we can ask ourselves or not ask ourselves. It's entirely up to us. But if we do start asking ourselves the question, if I die today, where will I be tomorrow? Our sights start to lift. We start to get a much bigger sense of who we are, where we came from, where we're going. We start thinking, I need to prepare. Like if you knew you were about to get on a plane, which in fact I am tomorrow, next day, then we tend to pack, don't we? And think, okay, we start thinking about it. Sometimes weeks ahead, we start thinking about it. We start thinking, I need to take this, I need to take that. I need to make sure that when I get to my destination, London, in my case, I've got everything I need. And we think about it, don't we? We don't just rush to the airport unpacked without passport or any preparation at all, because we know that's not going to work. And if we're going on a really, really long journey and we don't even really know where we're going, then you can imagine even more we're going to be trying to prepare for all eventualities. If you're going somewhere and, they don't actually have they don't sell deodorant, for example, like you've gone off into the outback or like the bush song and you're going to be completely on your own, then you start thinking even more about, okay, I really need to be prepared. I need to be prepared because this is an onward journey that I'm on. This is just I'm staying in this guest house, as Buddha said, but, the nature of guest houses is that they're very impermanent and we have to move on. No one can stay in a guest house forever. We have to move on. So we're leaving this guest house, going to the next one, our next life. And the question is, am I ready? If I die today, do I have everything within me to be able to assure that I won't be suffering in my next life? That's a really bottom line question. The reason we suffer now is because our mind is out of control. This is why we suffer. Buddha explained we suffer because we have delusions, distorted, disturbed, agitated states of mind, such as anxiety and anger, grasping, craving, attachment, jealousy. Beneath all of these, ignorance, motivating all of them. And because because our minds are, we can say, impure, deluded, they produce suffering, because those states of mind are states of suffering. We're never happy when we're deluded. Right? That's one thing. And the other thing is that based on those states of mind, those delusions, we act in negative, inappropriate ways. And we sow the karma or create the causes for bad things to happen. That's karma. We'll explain more in later meditation. But what that means is right now we're set up for a life of suffering. The reason we're suffering is because we have the causes of suffering within our mind. And while we have those causes of suffering within our mind, we're not actually in control over what happens to us. My friend, Tabitha, just out of nowhere, cancer diagnosis. Completely healthy last week. We're talking about all sorts of things. We weren't talking about the fact that she was about to get cancer. That was on no one's agenda. No one was talking about it. There's one example of so many today we can't even count. People who've had bad news today. And that will be us. And, yeah, we try and ignore these things, deny them, distract ourselves from them. But sooner or later, things go wrong in our lives. We suffer. And Buddha taught this not to depress us, but to prepare us, because he understood that there are causes of suffering, and those causes of suffering can be uprooted from the mind. We're not doomed to suffer. Life does not equal suffering. A life with delusions equals suffering. And the whole purpose of meditation practice, spiritual practice, is to identify and get rid of all the causes of suffering within our mental continuum, within the stream of our consciousness that goes from life to life. If we make spiritual progress in this life and we learn to have a peaceful, calm mind, develop compassion and love and wisdom, then we are protected